Transfer deadline day. Let the stress begin. Hello everybody and welcome to A Season with Newcastle with me, Pokes. Welcome to the channel and it's great to have you back with us today. This is episode 2, although it is actually episode 3 in my mind because I recorded a whole episode of some wonderful things that were happening in the save. I played Man City in a match and thought it was amazing, and then I realised I had done this. So yeah, I didn't come to realise that until I plugged it all in and ready to start editing it, and no sound came through. Hello darkness, my old friend. And the saga actually then continued because I thought, right, I'm going to just do it again. It's going to be fine, blah, 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 blah. But all plugged it all back in, hit go, started recording it, only to realise I'd pressed start streaming instead of start recording. And so all I was doing was streaming myself on the internet, recording a YouTube video. Hello darkness, my old friend. Goodness me, is there anything more embarrassing than that? But if you are new to the channel, then you won't know that that's general standard practice here with me. But I'm so glad that you are here with me anyway. And if you like the video, hit the subscribe button. If you want to follow along for more ridiculous things I'm likely to do wrong during FM23, then hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, follow along. I'd love to have you with me. And sometimes I actually stream on purpose as well. And that tends to happen on a Friday night. So that's over on twitch.tv/PokesFM. Come and join me for that too. Why not? Why not? But I should probably fill you in with what has been happening with this save and where we're up to. Pre-season started with a bit of a mixed bag, to be honest, you know, a draw, a loss and 2 wins. But we went into the Premier League season and things started really, really well. Firstly, a 3-0 win against Bournemouth. As you can see here, a goal from Callum Wilson, 2 goals from Isaac. Wonderful stuff, but on his debut. And as you can see here, this is the tactic that I'm kind of going with. I started with something else that I'll show you in just a minute, but this is what I'm going with, which is kind of Trippier there on that sort of right wing back, complete right wing back he's playing as, pushing forward there. You've got Isaac and Wilson as strikers together. Maximin playing on the left there. He actually got injured a little bit, but he's back in action now. This is what it's like, 4 at the back. We did actually try in pre-season with 3 at the back. Let me show you that tactic. So ignoring the players who are here at the minute, when you look at the actual tactic itself and the shape, this is what I was going for in pre-season. And as you can tell, you know, 2 games, I got a win and a loss. No, a draw and a loss against people who are just awful. So I've kind of ditched this one now, really. And we are really heading for the... for this one here, as I said, which is the sort of attacking player on the left side, but right side being a little bit open. We've got Joel Linton there playing there as sort of Mazzala drifting out wide a little bit, which is good. But really, you've got Kieran Trippier as that complete wing back, you really commanding the right-hand side of the pitch, which is working well. Well, it was working well because the first game was 3-0 against Bournemouth. Second game I went into against Villa at home this time, still won 3-1. Another great performance from the boys there. And you can see there a really great rating from Kieran Trippier there. Joel Linton scored, Wilson scored a pen, Isaac scored again, so that's 3 goals in 2 games for him. Things were looking really, really good. And like as you can see from the match stats here, completely dominated them, which was amazing to see. However, from there, things took a turn, everyone. They took a turn. Firstly, we lost 4-0 to Wolves, which was abysmal, absolutely abysmal. Shocking behaviour from them. We then won against Nottingham Forest in the first round of the Carabao Cup, which was handy considering first round getting drawn against a Premier League side isn't the best when I've just come off of a 4-0 loss against Wolves. But they did well. Really great game to watch, to be fair. Isaac on the score sheet, Joel Linton on the score sheet, Wilson on the score sheet, Dan Burn on the score sheet from a corner. Near post corners are a thing, everybody. That's right, near post corners with the player coming short and heading it in happens all the time. Happens all the time. Dan Burn scoring goals in pre-season, scoring here as well. It happens. It's a thing. Not just FM22, but it's here in FM23 too. We just got to hope and pray that the FM gods don't change it for the main game. So it was a good victory then. And then we went into the Man City match, which at first we were going into it with Haaland on an orange injured sort of feel. So I was expecting him not to play. However, he did play. He even got an assist, setting up Phil Foden to get the equaliser. Because believe it or not, we actually went ahead with this amazing goal from Kieran Trippier. Let me show you this. Because it was at this point, 39 minutes in from that goal from Kieran Trippier, that I was like, this is it. We've done it. We're smashing it. However, it was on the 50th minute that Haaland set up. He was on a yellow as well. Set up Phil Foden and they got the equaliser to make it 1-1. However, a 1-1 draw against Man City isn't bad, right? Not bad at all. We didn't do too badly. They weren't totally dominant over us. However, we then went on to this game against Fulham and somehow we just lost 4-2. It was absolutely horrendous. Utterly horrendous. Isaac got another 2 goals, which is nice to see. But other than that, goodness me, I don't know what happened there, but it did. Whatever happened, happened. And so now we sit here 11th in the league. Anybody who has a history of watching me on Twitch or on YouTube will know that there is something about 11th place and I cannot shake it. So 5 games in, you can see we've won 2, drawn 1, lost 2, 7th place, all sitting there. Not horrendous. Could be better, but it's not horrendous. But now we find ourselves in deadline day. But before we jump into that, and I'm going to take you through that today, let me tell you a little bit about the transfers I've done so far. I say transfer. I say transfers. I mean transfer. 1. And that basically is that I've bought in Alessandro Bastoni from Inter Milan. We paid 51 million for him. Probably not worth that. I don't think he's worth that. But he is a solid centre-back, and I am also looking to kind of bolster the left side of the defence as well. I think he's got some great attributes to him, and I think he'll just be that strong presence there, that Italian stallion there. He did get sent off in his first game, and then his second game that he played a couple of games later after he finished his suspension, he finished with a 6.1 average rating. Not the best. But I've still got high hopes for him. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll see us through. I think he'll be a good sort of strength in the defence that will kind of hold it. As long as he just doesn't keep getting sent off all the time, then we might be all right. So this is what my squad is looking like now, and this is generally, looking at it, yeah, this is generally what I would go for as a sort of starting 11. I would say a couple of things that I'm particularly keen to get is really a bit more depth. If you look at the sort of the subs bench there, we're looking at kind of 2.5 star to 3 star players there, majority of the bench. Also, I really like to get a better left wing back. We've got Matthew Targett at the moment, but I just think we need to do better. I think we need better, stronger, faster in that position. I think that will just help support the defence a lot better, so we're not completely solely relying on Kieran Trippier down the right. So that's my main aim over transfer deadline day. Before we jump into it, there is one player that I'm particularly looking at, and this is Alexandro here, 31 years old. I know maybe I'm having second thoughts about this guy now. I just think he's got, I don't know, he's got a better amount of experience than Target. I think he's a higher quality player, even though his attributes, don't quite point in that direction. But I think he'd be better. I think he would be better. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what comes up. We'll see what happens in deadline day. I'm notoriously one to get stressed out. So let me take you on the journey that is Pokes taking part in transfer deadline day. Let's do it. All right, I'm basically declining any press conversations in this. We've got 14 hours to go. We'll just keep going and see what happens. Oh, goodness. It's that kind of ticking it down of the clock that scares me the most, right? It's the ticking down of the clock. I'm also forgetting that obviously I might lose some players here, and I really don't want that to happen. That won't be great. Okay, so just before we started filming, I'd put in a bit of a bid for 7 million for Sandros and 3.5 million 50, after 50 games. I'm not keen to. Well, maybe I'll go to 7.5 million. Let's leave that as it is and suggest terms. So they're still saying it's unacceptable. Let me just show you as well my finances. So I've got 9.9 million in the transfer budget. I've shifted some of the wages, as you can see here. Wage budget is at 2.2 million, which I'm under still, which is fine. But really, I'm going to need a sort of 100 grand sort of wiggle room wage budget wise. I think we should be able to get Alessandro for that. I'm going to make another offer and just for 7.6 and see what that goes. Look at this, player of the month. Isaac was second in player of the month. Amazing stuff. And oh my goodness, like that, we also see that Kieran Trippier got goal of the month with that goal that you saw earlier with from Man City. What a ledge. What an absolute ledge. I'm incredible. I'm taking full credit for this. Okay, the Juventus have come back wanting 13.75 million for Alexandros. I don't have that sort of money, and I don't particularly know if there's anybody who I think is going to be leaving. Here are the players that I've got on the transfer list. Jacob Murphy, Gillespie, Coldalo, Celes. This fella I wouldn't mind getting rid of. Jamal, obviously the old captain for Newcastle. I've demoted him from being captain, and he was fine with that, but I think he's got to go. Shelvey, John Joe Shelvey, looking to get rid of him. Chris Wood, Matt Ritchie as well. Karius has actually gone on the transfer list by request as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to see if we can offer out all of these players. Just offer them out and see to the clubs and see what comes back, and I'll let you know what happens. So FC Copenhagen have made you heard that accent. They've made a non-negotiable offer of 3.7 million, plus they want us to pay for some of the wages, 17k a week. I'm not up for that. And it's non-negotiable, which is absolutely ridiculous. Reject it. Rejecting that, we start again. We keep going. Okay, I've resent out an offer to the clubs for Jamal, and excluding kind of giving any sort of wage contribution, and now no offers have come in. And also no offers came in for all of the other players, which is deeply saddening. There is this player here, he is thinking about moving, this guy here. Shade Kolasinac. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that well. 29 years old, 4.something million. I think he probably, looking at this, he probably would be a little bit better than Target. He's got a little bit more to him in terms of his physicals, and even some of his mentals look a little bit better. However, I'd say some of his technicals aren't so great. I don't think he's worth it. Rated as a C-. I'm not sure I'd go with that. I'm not going with that. 10 hours to go, everybody. 10 hours to go. So far, not really much movement at all. Let's just have a little look at my scouting, sort of what's going on with the scouts at the minute. So I've basically set a recruitment focus, one of these new features, to really look for some left backs. Obviously, Alexandro's coming up there. Who else have we got here, though? We've got Tyrick Mitchell. Does maybe look a little bit pacier than Target. Could possibly be a little bit better. Obviously, he's a lot younger. However, that figure of 28 to 35 million, I simply could not afford that. Kyle Walker-Peters also listed here. Again, 44 million. They're just all beyond my wage capability, my transfer budget. I'm just not going to be able to handle that. So I don't really have anywhere to go with these ones. We look at, there's also I've sent them looking at centre midfielders as well, but I'm not sure that's going to come out with much that I'm really going to be looking at this time. And there's a left back here, left and centre back here, Leo Hilder. No, he's not good enough, is he? He's not good enough. Okay, 7 hours to go, and I'm finding myself looking back at this fella, and stupidly enough, I didn't realise who he was earlier, but obviously he's the ex-Arsenal player, isn't he? The Bosnian guy, ex-Arsenal player. Just looking at some of his attributes again, I'm tempted. He's played a lot of Premier League football. He's been playing in Ligue 1, and I just like some of these pros about him. Enjoys big matches. He's consistent. He's spirited. He's brave. He's strong. I'm just noticing things like his determination is high. His work rate is high. I think we're going to put a bid in for this guy. 29 years old, so I wouldn't have him for like long term. And I don't know how much. We're going to basically, it's going to be a bit of a risk. He might basically be similar to Matthew Target, but maybe he might be that little bit better, or at least having an extra person there if Target's injured, having at least a couple of players who could kind of be battling for that position moving forward. A bit of competition, basically. We'll see how it looks. Let's give it a try, shall we? Let's give this a bash, and we'll see what it works out as, and we'll see if we can get him. All right, our bid of 5 million for this player has been accepted. By the way, leave a comment below in terms of how I'm supposed to say this guy's name. But yeah, it's been accepted. So I think we're going to try and negotiate a bit of a contract with him and see how this plays out. He wants a big pay rise. All right, chill out, mate. Leave that out. Regular starter. He would be a regular starter. I'm glad he's happy with that. I don't think he would be, super like key player for me or anything else. Let's just see if we can reduce the signing on fee a little bit there. Yeah, he seems happy. 48 grand a week. We'll see how this plays out. This could be risky. I feel like this is risky and a little bit, to quote an old FM, gung-ho of me. But we're going to see how it goes. Okay. Oh, looks like we've got a loan offer. Nobody wants a loan offers. Buy these players. Buy them. Don't loan them. Buy them. Oh, goodness me. Meanwhile, 5 hours to go. And it doesn't look like we're going to be selling anybody at the minute, despite me desperately trying to get rid of Jamal. It doesn't look like anyone wants him. So he's been granted a work permit. We're going to have him come in. He's here. He's in, people. He's in. This is going to revolutionise this season with Newcastle. I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it. Fan reaction, C+. He's a good player. We'd like to see him impact the game in both halves on the pitch and make success of himself here. So there we'll see. He's in his prime. He's not going to get any better. We're only doing a season of this anyway. So hopefully all things will work out all right. 30 minutes away now from the end of the transfer deadline of the window closing, and this guy's just popped up from the agent offers. Left back, wing back, 10 million, which maybe might have been able to shave down. Look, he looks better. He looks better, doesn't he? Attacking fullback on the left. He's definitely better than the other guy I've just bought. So, oh, brilliant. I mean, I don't know what to do. Stick him on the shortlist. What's his scout report saying? Possesses great pace, consistent performer, enjoys big matches. Brilliant. Obviously, he's better than Target. Oh, what have I done? It's too late. It's too late for me. Save yourself. It's too late for me. If I can maybe in the next 30 minutes sell someone else. Can I sell someone in 30 minutes for about 6 million and then buy this guy? Oh, it's worth no offers. I've tried to get Jamal out. Nobody wants him. Nobody wants him. Oh goodness, this is bad. Oh, I'm gonna get sacked. I'm gonna get sacked. So the transfer window has closed and all I managed to do was get this fella in. If you can tell me how to say his name, please do. So I'm sorry, mate. I can't even say your own name, but welcome. So I think we're going to call it there. What I might do is have a little play around with the new squad planner and see what I can now sort of do. I probably should have, on hindsight, used the squad planner before the transfer window. Really, that's why it's called a planner. But if you don't plan, you plan to fail. That's what I should have written on the wall. I should write that on the wall back here for next time. It's only the beta, though. It's only the beta. It doesn't matter, does it? So in terms of what I've got coming up, we've got Leeds, Liverpool, Brighton, Southampton. We'll play a little bit. And I tell you what, I might record a video very soon with an actual match in it as well next time for episode 3. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Actually play a match on camera for a change. But thank you for joining me for today. Really appreciate all the encouragement and support. As I said before, do hit the like button if you like this content and do subscribe. I have this little thing in my mind that I would love to get to 1,000 subscribers this year on FM23. We're at about 800 and something or other. It would be amazing to get us to 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube. As well as that, I'd love for you to join me over on twitch.tv/PokesFM as well on Friday nights, where I'm streaming this save live during the beta period before we start our main save once the game comes out. But anyway, that's all from me today. Thanks for joining me and I'll catch you soon. See ya.